Hey guys, it's your best boxing friends. I'm Kelsey. This is Rachel. Rachel, what an amazing performance by both Errol Spence and Shawn Porter, and what I'm calling the fight of the year so far, at least that I've seen to date this year in 2019. What did you think about the fight?
Yeah, it was great. And so my question is like what I find myself wondering post-fight, is Errol Spence amazing and that he can fight to his opponent like he did with Mikey Garcia and like he said, like maybe what he did with Porter, because I didn't expect this against Porter. And then that would mean that that's a level of skill. That's like, if you think that Floyd Mayweather went in with Conor McGregor and fought that fight a little differently.
Which is what I think. I think he stood right in front of him on purpose.
That's only, like, I don't recommend that, but you have to be insanely good in order to do that. Otherwise, you go in with your best game plan every single time. So that's my question. Or did Shawn Porter make Spence? Did Spence's, like, ego get in the way? And so he fought a certain fight to be like, I'm going to show people I can do this, just like with Mikey Garcia, right? Like, I'm going to show people I can do this. It's like, why are you showing me anything? Just fight the best fight you can fight and win. Like, you don't need to show me anything. And did Porter make it? Like, was Porter good and good enough that he made, like, Spence look like not so great?
It's either very smart or very dumb.
Because, I mean, it's
whatever it is, I love it. I love watching Errol Spence fight. I love that he's done that in both of those fights. I think that it's a little of either whatever he's choosing to do. I'm not here to say it's totally working, so he won the fight. But I will say that we do need to give Shawn Porter credit, because too often Shawn Porter
gets overlooked or
as just a guy who has aggression and who isn't a good boxer. Shawn Porter's a heck of a boxer, and he showed it against Errol Spence, throwing more punches and landing more punches than anybody's ever landed on Errol Spence.
He flat out, like, leveled up for this fight. I was like, oh my gosh.
The one thing that he did brilliantly was that he would get worked into a corner, and it was almost by design, he would suddenly switch it around, get Spence in the corner, and go to work. I thought it was a really great performance. I thought it showed the excellence of both fighters, particularly Errol Spence, who won the fight. I thought the fight was close, and I thought that Shawn Porter was winning the fight until the last 3 rounds, and I think that Spence winning those last 3 rounds really proved that he is the premier welterweight in the division right now. And I say that because his wins against Errol Spence, the one he had against Mikey Garcia, even, who was an elite pound-for-pound fighter, put him, I think, in a place that the only other guy that you could consider for that spot, really, in Terrence Crawford, doesn't have wins over that level. I mean, that Shawn Porter win.
He needs to fight more in the welterweight division.
He needs to fight.
Like, we need to see Terrence Crawford fighting.
The problem is that Terrence Crawford doesn't have Top Rank doesn't have the roster to put him in with, so they have to make cross-promotion fights. That's not happening. I don't want to get too much into the Crawford Spence thing. All this to say, what an amazing fight. What a great opportunity for both fighters to really show their class. There was an idea going into the fight that if Errol Spence didn't dominate this fight, that it somehow would discredit him, because we know what we knew what Shawn Porter. What we don't know, Shawn Porter was a world title holder, and I think both fighters. I would rather give them both credit for fighting excellently, for putting on a great show, and
we can't actually know. Like, it's in. I don't know the right phrasing, but like to assume the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And assuming the best in the situation, and assuming that, Shawn Porter was great coming into this fight. He was the best version of Shawn Porter that he has been in the boxing ring that I've seen. And that Spence was too, Like,
what an amazing performance. I'm really excited to see. They announced immediately after the fight that Errol Spence is going to fight Danny Garcia next.
Do you think Garcia, like, he's already fought Porter, right?
Yeah, he lost a very close decision to Shawn Porter.
So you think, like, the setup was like, well, Danny Garcia, whoever wins, you're going to the ring and you're going to announce your fight with him.
I think so, and I think it's wise. I think that if you're the PBC and you have all these good welterweights, which include Danny Garcia, Shawn Porter, Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, you got Manny Pacquiao, you've got, and more. There's more than that. Let these guys fight each other. I want to see who the best of that group is.
Yeah,
We've
yeah.
always thought it's
And you
probably
can have
Errol Spence.
trilogies. You can have like,
Yeah,
multiple fights.
let's do this.
Like it's really like fun.
Let's do this thing.
Can we also say like how I think it was a like great marketing move for PBC to have Danny Garcia go in.
Yes.
I don't think it had to be Garcia himself, but to announce the fight right there.
Perfect.
Because guess what? That's when you have the most eyes on your marketing. To have your Spence be like, well, I'm going to leave it up to my promoter and my manager and like do all that. Then it goes off air and it's through some press release and only your boxing writers and, you know, hardcore fans are going to read this. They instead capitalize on like having all the eyes right there to see. We all knew like, you know, the Garcia was coming to the ring, like you still had. It was just a great marketing move.
What?
And they can immediately start marketing that fight now. They don't have to wait.
There's only one criticism I have of the whole show, and I'm going to give it to you now because we've given them glowing praise. One thing I do not like about what the PBC does is and it's not maybe the PBC, maybe it's Fox, but they're in all this into this together. To show and talk about the welterweight division without including Terrence Crawford because he's not a PBC fighter is ridiculous and stupid.
Yeah.
That does not happen on ESPN, who has the same relationship with Top Rank and Terrence Crawford, and it should not happen on Fox. I don't know what's going on over there. Get your stuff together.
It would be like if
he's
ESPN
the elephant in the room. You need to bring him up.
Talk about Deontay Wilder and
which
Andy
they do.
Ruiz. You know what I mean?
And DAZN does the same thing. They talk about everybody in the division. They don't just pretend that it's not. That's fake news, right? That's a big term that's in our. That's fake news. Don't like it. You can do better, Fox. Do better, Fox.
Although, unless PBC is planning on taking things over, like to be, you know, like UFC, but in boxing.
I get why they do it. I think that it's. Yeah. Oh no, they're not.
I'm saying that might be part of their. Like,
yeah, I'm sure.
Blueprint.
The story makeup. It is part of their blueprint, and it's part of
and
somebody.
You don't like it.
It's part of somebody's blueprint, whether it's the PBC or Fox or somebody. It's dumb. Don't do it. It's going to come back and haunt you. You're causing more issues for yourself because you are not presenting the truth to the audience.
Well, what you're doing is you're cutting Spence off at his knees because what you should be doing is you should be marketing him up there with Crawford and showing that you believe that he's better than Crawford.
And then you're building
what you do when you omit Crawford from everything you talk about is almost like you're saying, oh, well, we don't want to talk about him because Crawford really is the best, and we'll just make it look like Spence.
You're building the future combined pay-per-view that you want to do. You have to want to get him that fight. That's the biggest fight that can happen.
You should.
Yeah, so I don't like it. Stop doing it. Start being, and it's really more Fox. Even if the PBC was like, hey, we don't do this thing. Fox, you're the media company. You have to say, no, we have to tell people the truth. We have to show that there's more than, there's obviously a missing welterweight, and he's also one of the title holders, so it's not like just some contender guy I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He's also one of the top 1 or 2 or 3, I say the best, the pound for pound top fighter in the sport on top of pound for pound list, so you can't just ignore him. Don't ignore him. It's bad because all this glowing praise that I just gave you, I had to waste time on this video to say that, and that's happening all over the place, and it shouldn't have to happen.
You know what's not a waste of time?
What?
When people like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
That's right. We will always talk about
it is actually the best use of your time.
Well,
that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to just put that out.
Definitely.
It's the best use of your time.
We promise never to pretend like you don't exist.